Sani Banani Bazali. Hello, parents. So today we're going to be talking about the Gruffalo and what are some things that our kids can learn through the Gruffalo, and what are some kind of learning experiences that we can use the Gruffalo to facilitate for our kids. So one of the really kind of interesting and powerful things that Julia Donaldson gives us an example of how to do is she creates a lot of learning without us feeling like we're learning. So through the course of this story, kids learn, where do foxes live? Where do snakes live? Where do owls live? And then when the mouse is surprising the Gruffalo, they actually add a whole bunch of vocabulary in. So amazing, says the Gruffalo. Astounding, says the Gruffalo. By using the repetition and the rhythm of the story and the fact that the pictures have already kind of filled in what, the kids can already see what's happening, they're adding those words into their vocabulary in a very kind of natural and easy way, in a way that's not very painful, but that is likely to actually help them retain those words as they grow up. So it's a good example of something that we can always be doing, sort of adding words when we talk to our kids. So something else that I think is really valuable and important about the Gruffalo is it's not really a story with a clear message about right or wrong. Because the mouse does use lying to solve problems. And lying isn't really something that we want to encourage our kids to do. But unfortunately, lying is a part of the real world. Kids deal with the temptation to lie, and, they're told lies by grown-ups already. Even very young kids are dealing with that. So it's important that the kids be able to think about and explore these ideas. But what I think is really nice and really powerful about a book like this is it doesn't explore those ideas and then tell the kids what they should think. It leaves them in that kind of in-between, almost netherworld, where it's up to them to figure out what they think is right. And this is an incredibly important skill because kids are constantly evaluating and sort of deciding what the world is. And we need to create these opportunities where they're encouraged to look at a situation and explore, well, I don't know, what should we do? And kind of get comfortable with being left in a situation, well, there isn't really a clear answer. The mouse shouldn't have let these other animals eat him. But, should we use lying to solve our problems? Probably not. And, ultimately it almost comes back and, bites the mouse. He tells this lie about the Gruffalo and then he finds a Gruffalo. However, the only way he managed to escape that is by telling more lies. It's a really kind of complex and difficult situation. And again, I think it shows, like we've talked about in other videos, the importance of respecting our kids and believing that they don't need us to always tell them what to do. They need us to help them analyze the world and figure out what to do. So obviously we have our rules and our culture and all those things, and we're not trying to throw out the baby with the bathwater here. But yeah, I think it really is important that we recognize the importance of laying this foundation through stories like the Gruffalo. I think another kind of valuable thing that this helps us to realize is, we tend to sometimes almost think of children as angels. Maybe not now that we're all locked up in our houses with them. But we tend to sort of sometimes ignore the fact that, especially little kids, they enjoy destroying things. Before a baby can build a tower, they can watch someone else build a tower and take a great amount of joy in knocking that tower to the ground. This is part of our nature, and our kids' books need to approach kids within the reality of who they are. I think the Gruffalo shows us a really good example of how we can sort of dance with the dark side and really look at very dark and very harrowing things, because ultimately we're looking at a bunch of animals trying to murder each other and then eat each other. It's a very dark and very heavy premise for a children's story. I think the book does a good job of, again, not turning this into some horror movie, but also, yeah, kind of speaking to kids in a language they understand and helping that to kind of reflect the real world. So yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for listening, and thanks Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler for the sweet story. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out our downloadable activities on thanda.org.